Welcome back to Dubster Dive. Seriously, we're taking a look at something's English dub. You're back this time.
I am?
Yeah, for another horror anime. Aren't you happy you came back for this one?
Uh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so TLDR, this anime is very okay, but could have been great if given more time. It's only 4 episodes.
Proof of concept slash pilot.
Yep. So, if you haven't heard of this anime, which I wouldn't be surprised, one, would you be even more shocked to know that it literally aired less than a year ago? And two, that it aired on Tonami. I mean, did you even hear of this anime before I brought it up to you?
I heard about it last year.
Well, either way, let's get into this, I guess. Housing Complex C is an anime that aired on Adult Swim's Tonami block in October of 2022 by Studio William Street. They did Squidbillies and Robot Chicken. Well, they helped work on it. They also helped work on Fena Pirate Princess. Oh, God. Which, at least the show is better than that. I think we could agree on that.
Well, if you gave them like 20-something episodes, then they could have fucked it up just as much. Anyway.
Yeah. And it had help with production IG. USA division specifically? Okay. I mean, production IG helped out on, Psychopaths and stuff. Oh, they've done good stuff. But, yeah. And the anime, as you could probably see from the title, is inspired by Lovecraft stuff, which is at least a unique avenue to go for. Not a lot of anime really go for that, huh? Especially in the horror genre. You've got anime with Lovecraft elements here and there, but none that go or try making it the pseudo backdrop. So
If only it would have went all in on that instead of being, I'm gonna dip my toenail into this Lovecraft shit.
Well, quick summary of the basic setup. We take place at Housing Complex C in the small town of Kurosaki Village. Yeah, thanks, Bleach. We couldn't stop laughing every time that name showed up. As, everyone's living fine. The main character named Kimmy's young girl going around friendly with everybody, but then strange happenings start going on. Dead animals are showing up, people are disappearing. Why is there
moss?
There's growths of moss everywhere. It's a whole thing. Also now, some dude and his family show up, bringing a bunch of foreigners to work as interns on this lonely island. So, And the comparisons, if anyone has seen it, to Higurashi are undeniable, especially with some of the twists that the show tries pulling, particularly with Kimmy. I will get into spoilers in a second, so if you still want to watch it, again, only 4 episodes, you all know where to look if you want to see it, because I'm sure half of you don't even have HBO Max.
Because I doubt any of you have HBO.
Exactly. I didn't mean to steal your line. Yeah, so... I mean, we sure as fuck don't. Where do you think we watched it?
One of those assholes who pays for every single app, I guess.
This is too expensive. I can't do that, man. I'm sorry. But, yeah, it's only 4 eps. You'll be done with it in less than 2 hours. And again, it's an okay proof of concept, and it has an interesting mystery, and they do try setting up their own mythos, I guess. It's just, like... The atmosphere is okay for the first couple of episodes, and then you're like, oh crap, we're actually building to something. Well, how's this going to go? Where's it going to end up? Oh man, we're actually starting to get somewhere, and then you realize, wait a minute, the next episode's the final one. Oh. So they front run you with crap tons of exposition and rush through the climax.
Yeah, and just to say, hey, look, this is a horror thing. When there's nothing being set up at all, they still play the horror music zingers just to give it the mood of a horror thing.
Yeah. I think that's because they didn't have much time to set everything up, so because of that, they're like, oh, we got to just immediately set up the atmosphere instead of slowly building it up, with happy, more cheerful music to slowly get you, and then have the atmosphere slowly build over time. Which, yeah, Higurashi is able to do, especially because that one is a 50 episode adaptation of a VN. 50 episodes, they've got plenty of time. But, on from that, Dai, animation.
It's okay enough. Except for this part where they didn't animate water boiling. That was weird.
Oh yeah, you commented on that when we were watching it. Yeah, but what about the blood and gore effects when we do see those?
We don't see much of those. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Most of the time they're cutting away from them.
I guess they're trying to keep who the killer and that stuff is a mystery. And again, you see plenty of animal corpses. As far as the soundtrack, as Dai said, it's alright. It's your typical horror thing. And unlike King's Game, no one bothered to actually isolate the audio for this shit when I tried looking up its soundtrack to get a better hear feel for it. Which means people care more about King's Game and remember that more than this show.
Yeah, they forgot about a show a year out.
Yeah. So, before we... What's up?
It has nothing to do with the fact that the only app it's on is fucking HBO Max, or that it airs on Tonami, and most people have gotten rid of cable by now.
Yeah, we did not watch this when it aired last year, because I don't have cable, I don't think you have cable.
No. Cancel cable like a 2 years ago.
Yeah, same here, so, that's a thing. But, I guess, interesting effort from Tonami, I suppose. Now, as far as the dub goes, it was handled by Bang Zoom, with ADR director Bill Millsap, who's doing Zom 100 currently, and Odd Taxi.
The Eternal Cursed Show, Zom 100.
Yeah, thanks, Zom 100. Planning on full retrospective on you and your live-action counterpart, but can't do that because your shit keeps getting delayed. Yeah. Anyway, the script was done by Marlon Moore, who did the second Sins Grudge of Edinburgh movie. And, I mean, there's a couple of funny lines. Like, one of the characters, Yoshkin, is complaining about the heat, saying, maybe this is one of those global warming thing I've heard so much about. Damn it, that's so dumb.
Some asshole outside on their lawnmower.
Here or where you are?
No, it's here.
Oh, I was gonna say.
They should be able to hear us.
Yeah, no, I don't hear shit.
It's like...
But yeah, so the script is alright. No, I didn't notice anything really jarring or anything. Now, as far as the dubcast itself, this is when I have to say full spoilers. We're not holding anything back here because in order to get into the performances, we have to spoil a bunch of shit. So if you still want to check it out, final warning, let's get into it. First, our main character, Kimi, voiced by Xanthi Huynh, who's Hanyo from Higurashi Go and Sotsu, and Menma from Anohana, the Flower Saw That Day. So, Dai, tell me, are you Men Mario or Men Luigi?
Yes.
That was such a silly reference. And I think she does fine. She's coming across very happy and lucky until the final episode, when she has to go full Lovecraftian God on everyone, saying, I hate humanity. Which, in all fairness to the show, was actually foreshadowed. I did go through it a second time earlier, so... There's plenty of comments
and who can blame her? It is humanity.
Yeah, she makes comments in earlier episodes when learning about human history from someone that they call the professor. We'll get to him in a bit. Where she says, is violence throughout history, is that what it means to be human? You know, comments like that make you think, wait, what? But you're human, aren't you? This just sounds a little weird. And also, there's a song that she sings. Yeah, so you get dubbed singing in this. You like the dub singing, right, Dai?
Yes.
Where the lyrics foreshadow it as well. So, overall, I think Xanthi did all right. Which I will say this, as much as this borrows from Higurashi, it has one thing going for it. Its dub is better than Higurashi's. So, this show gets a win in that regard. Yeah.
Aww.
Now, after her, we have Yuri, who's the daughter of the family that moved in to this small village and housing complex, and becomes good friends with Kimmy. Voiced by Kaylee Mills, who's Amelia from ReZero. Lunamon from Digimon Adventure 2020. Please do not ask me to cover that. I'm begging you guys. Have mercy on me.
You brought it up. You're just begging for it.
And Kaching from Genshin Impact. Because, I can't go one episode without mentioning Genshin. That's a meme at this point. Probably because it's...
everybody is in it, including you.
What? And, again, Kaylee does good, too. There's a couple of lines I noticed where she goes from her lolly voice, I guess you'd call it, to her deeper voice every now and again.
But I'd chalk that up to the rush production of putting on a Tonami as it aired.
Yeah. Or the ADR director not catching it and just going with one take. Whichever you want to go with. So, Yuri, some of her shit makes no sense. Oh, her and her family, it turns out, are the ones behind all the mortars. And Yuri being evil, too, just feels out of nowhere. Her family being pricks, yeah, there actually is some setup for that a little bit. But her... There's literally a scene where she's trying to stop her dad from killing Kimmy. What the hell are you doing over there, Doc? Are you okay?
Nothing.
Oh, your shit's creaking. That's all I was asking. But yeah, there's a scene where... What's up?
Just picking something up.
Okay. So Yuri tries stopping her dad from killing Kimmy in episode 4. And then it reveals, like, a scene later, she's like, she's evil and goes, we had you going with that act of ours, didn't we? What? Why are you...
What was the point?
Yeah, it felt so dumb.
The fuck?
You were trying to kill Kimmy in the first place, weren't you? Why did you stop your dad from doing it? All you did was hinder this and make it take longer.
Yes.
It was all because episode 1, and I know why they did it, because episode 1 opens with one of the characters chasing Yuri and Kimmy, and he says Kimmy's name, and you can misconstrue that as, oh, is he trying to kill her and Yuri's trying to save her? But then you find out in Ep 4 that when you see the actual scene in full context, no, he's trying to save her from Yuri. That is the only reason this stupid shit exists here in the logic jump. That's it. Oh yeah, we should mention that. Ep 1 begins with that shit, the storytelling method that you love so much, Dai.
It's even worse here. It's only 4 fucking episodes.
Yeah, it's something else it took from Higurashi. Yeah. And Higurashi, for comparison's sake, it literally opens with the main character, Keiichi, beating his best friend to death, and then you flash back to them being, friendly with each other, and it grabs the viewer's attention, making you think, oh shit, well, these guys aren't friendly terms, so why would he want to do that? Here, you're not given much to work with.
For the sake of doing it.
Yeah, it doesn't work as well. But either way, Kaylee did a good job as Yuri. You get to hear her go full crazy serial killer psychotic by the end. So
yeah, this just reeks of writing as you go syndrome.
Kind
because
of.
It is an original.
Yeah, there's like we said, there's some stuff that's set up, and then other stuff where they weren't sure what to do. But back on point, the last time we heard Kaylee play someone who is a serial killer was chick from Full Dive, right? I did not do my research properly. I should have looked up her name to cross-reference that. But either way,
I think.
It might have been something like that. I don't know. Someone's going to point it out to us. But whatever the fuck her name was. Crazy chick. That kept going, hero, to JYB's character. So remember JYB's name? Oh, yeah. After her, we have her mother, Keiko, voiced by Suzy Young, who's Shizuka from Jobless Reincarnation, and Makima from Chainsaw Man. And her setup to actually having a heel turn makes a lot of sense. So when the villagers stumble across the dead animals and are shocked and horrified at this, she seems relatively calm when stumbling upon them, being like, if you're trying to cover them up so people don't panic, I've got tarps you could borrow. Like, mentions it as calm as could be. And there's also scenes of her throwing up immediately after, making you think that, oh, she must have killed someone, and that's why she's vomiting. She doesn't want to do this. You know, getting cold feet.
I can't do it.
I can't do it! So, yeah, there's some setup with her. Like, her turning evil, it's like, yeah, all right, I buy it. There's something to that. And Susie Young's at least having fun. Then she gets her arm broken, too, Bleach style. Well, I guess Bleach is more severing.
But you did that in our last attempt at the recording.
I know. I don't care. I'm sorry. After that, we have her husband, Seiichi, voiced by Sean Chiplock, who's Draken from Tokyo Revengers, and Noob Saibot from MK11. What, you can't hear it? You can't tell that's him?
No, no one could. They just think, oh god, it's Dr. Claw.
Fine. Diluc from Genshin. Or Subaru from ReZero. Oh god, that means someone's probably going to write a fanfic of Subaru and Amelia being parent, and never mind, I'm getting out of there. Yeah, his whole thing is he's always working. That's it.
Yeah, he only has like three or
four scenes. Okay. Yeah, because I went through it again. He's barely there. He shows up at the village.
He shows up in the village. He shows up
at the party.
At the party. Then maybe one other time, and then the next time he's just
Killer
in crazy
Man
mode.
Yeah, so he's the type you'd think is a red herring, like, oh, he's never there, but no, because he was never there, it's like they're trying to make him look like the obvious choice was the obvious one. But hey, at least you get Sean voicing psychotic Killer Man.
I mean, they can see that done better in the Curse Recall.
Yeah, that's true too. So there's that. So his setup didn't really land as well, in my opinion. Especially with the stupidity of him acting with his daughter Yuri. That scene was really retarded.
It makes sense if you don't think about it.
At least Sean had fun, I guess. After that, we have the villagers. So first we have Takashi, or Taka as people call him. Jake Eberl is who voices him. The narrator from Berserk 2016. And Daniel from Gundam Build Divers. And, yeah, he's the professor.
Why?
I don't know. He's the professor of the whole thing. He wants to look into these incidents, and he's obsessed with the lore and history of Kurosaki Village and the gods and
Honestly, he is one of the reasons why the cast list is kind of stupid. He should probably be listed as the main character. He literally has almost the most screen time.
Yeah, I know why it's Kimmy, because she turns out to be the god, but he should have been up there alongside her. But
at least second to Kimmy.
Yeah, he is probably, he's easily my favorite character in the show, probably because we spent the most time with him. And he's
the character that had the most screen time and got them that actually got some fleshing out is your favorite character? No way.
Yeah, and his from my understanding with my limited Lovecraft knowledge, he is a representation of that, since he does end up offing himself, which some people missed. How'd you say he did it?
Okay, it's a scene where if you blink, you'll literally miss it, because or else you'll just see moss on the floor. Also, where do they keep getting the nooses from?
I don't know. Maybe him and the King's Game cast shopped at the same store. Maybe it was a buy one get one free thing. I swear, if in the next horror anime we talk about, someone hangs themselves with a noose.
I mean, it's a horror anime. Of course they're gonna do that.
Well, I think Jake does a solid job. He's got a voice that screams, I can do exposition really well and come across as Professor Kun. But yeah, so his whole thing is he offs himself because he learns about the thing with Kimmy and all the other gods, and the knowledge drives him mad. Which, we could have seen that drawn out more. That would have been cool.
Yeah,
But
I mean, the other thing we didn't do is something he established. He talks about in episode 1 is the whole kaleidoscope thing, or
I think the optical illusion itself,
the
like it,
optical illusion.
yeah,
Yeah,
it clicked with me when I was watching it a second time. I think Kimmy being the god itself was meant to be the optical illusion, and the fact the island was trapped in the year 2000. I think that's what
they
they were
had like
trying to
one
go
instance
for.
of that where it's like for a split second he sees a big fish man monster, but then it just goes away. He's like, must be seeing things.
Yeah, they probably could have done more with that, but I think that's what they
It's
meant because
it's like that's why they only semi leaned in on the Lovecraft things because it's all about fucking with you visually and mentally.
yeah. And then you've got Kimmy, who, again, from what I looked up, is a representation of the Lovecraftian god that wants to study humanity. So they take the form of a human to live amongst them. So
Human.
it's like someone had an understanding of Lovecraft, from what I could gather, at least. Someone could correct me on that, because again, I've admitted that I'm really retarded when it comes to a lot of Lovecraftian stuff, other than the bare basics. But yeah, back on point. He he's fine.
Yeah, the only thing I have on Lovecraft is what I encountered with it in Bloodborne, which you should totally play if you want a Lovecraft experience.
Well, you and your Bloodborne love. I'm gonna keep going at Bloodburn, and you can't stop me. Well, after him, we've got Yoshkin, voiced by Michael Sorge, who's Dimple from Mob Psycho. See, I'm trying to keep up the Halloween theme. And Don Kanonji from Bleach. He's hunting them spirits. Okay, fine. He's Tessai. That better.
Neither who have been in any episodes in a bright while.
That's actually a valid point. But yeah, so his whole thing is he was a security guard. That's awkwardly dropped on his exposition when he wants to become the Night Watch. Just
Mall
look for the murders.
security.
Exactly. I do love how the other characters are like, dude, you're almost 80. What are you doing? Like, what the hell is he gonna do if a guy shows up, which one does, and kills him?
All that was left was a moss.
Yeah. Maybe that's Lovecraftian related too. Again, someone can let us know. But yeah, for one always here, he's okay, I guess. After him, we have Koba, voiced by Doug Stone, Valkenheim from Blaze Blue, the werewolf, and Fat Cop from Babel 2 Beyond Infinity. What? What'd I do?
What?
He's Fat Cop, man. And Koba apparently was a mechanic. He's also the one that gets left the notes from Taka in the final episode. He's like, oh, I gotta save Kim, and then he gets shanked. So, a lot of good that did. Oh, plates. The last one, the last of the old people is Wada, voiced by Janice Carroll? Who the fuck are you? Oh, wait, it's Barbara Goodson. Why'd she go under an alias?
Probably because it was non-union or something.
Well, Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers and Oreo from Higurashi 2006 dub. So she plays a crazy old bitch in this too. Who even makes comments like, I hate these damn foreigners.
That's racist.
Yeah, she makes a comment saying like, I don't want to hear your demon chanting anymore because the foreigners are religious and, they pray and chant or whatever. And one of the other characters goes, oh, come on, that's just racist of you to say.
It is.
Actually, it was Taka that said it. But again, you're not going to find a bad role, I don't think, from Barbara Goodson. She's clearly in her element playing crazy old woman. Even though in one episode she's not crazy and we're told, oh, well, she just puts up a front.
She was always nice. Thanks for expositing that.
Whatever. We're on the last couple of people. So the last villager to go over is Momo, or Mitsuko, She's nicknamed Momo because her last name also is Momo in it. Voiced by Caitlin Glass, who's Damien Desmond from Spy Family and Cammy from SF4 through 6. And she's only in episode 1. Why she's on the main cast list, I don't know. She's the first one to get shanked. So, I guess she's alright. She has a son named Hideo.
She kind of just exists for the first episode.
Yeah, and her son Hideo is the guy drawing the creepy Lovecraftian drawings, I guess. And you figured they're going to do something more with him, since he is the one that found the hidden storeroom where the first dead dog is or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, they don't really do anything with him.
He's drawing stuff from Cthulhu.com or something.
Yeah. Also, I kept calling him Hideo Kojima the whole time, and I think Dai wanted to punch me. So, he's unvoiced in any language, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't even grunt.
He just mosses.
After him, we have the foreigners, which there's only 2 main ones that we're going to cover, because the rest are just equivalent of ad voice. They don't even have names. First is Rubel, voiced by Ryan Colt Levy, who's Dingy from Chainsaw Man, and Yu Haibara from Jujutsu Kaisen. And at first, I thought he was Russian because of the accent.
It's just the way he rolls his R's.
Yeah, they're supposed to be Middle Eastern, right?
Yeah. Well, clearly with you said the chanting earlier, they're clearly supposed to be Indian or something.
Yeah. So they have to do weird chanting in another language. It's like Spanish or some shit. No, but honestly, his friend, Khan, is who got me, and we couldn't stop laughing. Khan is voiced by Bob Carter. You know, the voice of Shao Kahn from MK9.
It's just a gift that keeps on gifting.
Or Bojack from DPC. So he's fine. He's the, silent type who doesn't explain things very well. And I think his accent is better than Ryan's, though that could just be my preference. I don't know.
That's because he has to speak in semi-broken English, so it comes across better.
It does to me at least. So, as far as other standout ad voices, Keith Silverstein and KG Tang play people on both sides. They play people on the foreigner sides and the villager side when stuff breaks down and they're all accusing each other. So you get Keith and KG doing silly accents. And Sean and Susie Young are the only 2 major characters that are ad voices.
I'm pretty sure Bob was one too.
He might have been. I mean, Sean's barely in the show as it is, so him being ad voice isn't too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it on the main cast list. The dub itself is all right, much like the show. This isn't like, I would come here to see these people's performances. This is a great example of what these guys can do. No, it's okay. It's adequate.
They could have done more, but 4 episodes is not enough to have for the character.
Yeah. So,
or in some people's cases, barely being there and only showing up at the end as a crazy person.
Yeah, that too. No, it's an alright dub, an alright show. If this were 12 eps, I think it would have come out better. I think if it were 24, it would have been extended too long. I don't know.
I would say the maximum that they probably should have done without worrying about them fillerizing it with stupid shit was probably I would say 16.
Yeah, maybe. So, if you haven't seen it yet, give it a shot, I guess. There's worse things to do, even though we just spoiled the fuck out of it for you. If you're looking for something that does this concept a lot better, I've already talked about Higurashi, including Xanthi's character, voicing a lolly god character. Yeah, that casting might have been done on purpose. I wouldn't be surprised. And hey, if you want a Lovecraftian anime, Dimension Lovecraftian game, go for Made in Abyss. It has a lot more Lovecraftian designs with its stuff. And it's also really, really good. That being said, what did we learn from Housing Complex C, Dai?
If you're gonna come up with an original thing, have a plan. Don't write it as you go.
Yeah. It feels like we watched a recap film of a season 1 for an anime.
Exactly.
And hey, I saw some people really love this one. I wanted to, man, but it was just okay to me. An alright pilot or proof of concept, as you said.
You
Housing
know,
comp.
it's like going to the store and getting a sample. That's all you get. You don't get any more. You don't get the full thing. Just a sample of it.
Just like Bubble or Burn the Witch. Difference is Burn the Witch
Exactly.
is getting another season. We covered both those too. And we had the same complaints actually for both of them as we do here.
And we'll probably have the same complaints about it again.
The C in housing complex must have stood for cucked out of something that could have been great.
Oh, housing concept.
Housing complex concept. MVP of the dub. Not really one here. Everyone just did all right. They did adequate. So, as far as next time, oh no, maybe I'll make Nomi cover something shitty with me again because that's fun.
Gets funnier every time.
It does. Though King's Game I enjoyed a lot more than I thought it would. If you haven't seen that video yet, you guys should go watch it. But alright guys, thanks again for watching us ramble on about this anime. Hell, this video is probably as long or half as long as the anime is. Until next time, guys.
Probably.
We'll be back next time. Thanks again for watching. Hope you all have a good day. Bye!